Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I can.
Doing well.
What's up?
And Fox feeling good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm also feeling pretty good today. So, all right. So, what are we going over today? What is the plan?
Right? This is another follow-up from our last lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't have too many pointers. I made a few. I feel like you'll get a pretty good feel from just watching the replay.
Mm-hmm.
My Fox has actually kind of improved a lot the last really the last week,
Mm-hmm.
a week and a half. Made like significant progress. You know that one student you have, the it's a Falco. You said that pretty much what they have to do is just uh, the only thing that's left for them is sticking to their game plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really deviating anything else from that will be detriment. And you were saying like their that student, you remember that guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I was taking
Mm-hmm.
that advice. I'm not at his level, but it still has really helped me and made me when I'm looking at my own replays um consider what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm playing a lot smarter. Now I still sometimes have like force of habit where I go and do something like I know that was bad immediately after I do it,
Mm-hmm.
but um it's gotten a lot better. I'm
Okay.
much happier with my play.
Yeah. When you're doing stuff and like you're just like, oops, I did it again. Okay, I know that's
Yeah.
bad. Eventually, you'll get rid of eventually, like your brain gets rid of those. Like I feel like those aren't really like a problem. That's more just
Well,
like
it used to happen like a lot during a match, and now it happens like maybe once,
I
maybe
see.
once. Yeah, so it's already way better. It's just
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's.
like to.
I'm just saying, like, there's always gonna be like lingering ones that are like randomly some habits are just way harder to
Mm,
fix than others. But
mm-hmm.
clearly, you're getting better at dealing
Like
with them, so that's good.
I think a very obvious one, and one that I have known that's a bad habit since I don't know 2021
Mm-hmm.
is drill from ledge. I've done it so much less the past week, and I am just about to completely remove it from play. It's just somewhere in the back of my mind. I'm like, he's completely vulnerable. I need to drill from ledge here, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
right next to just completely removing it, and just always ledge dashing or laser
Yeah,
phantom.
no, ledge dash is just better.
Yeah, completely better. So I'd like to work on Falco crossing up my shield,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then I get in with the Falcos, right? I feel like getting past the laser in some of the games
Mm-hmm.
really hasn't been an issue. But once I'm in, I'm not really sure what's going wrong. I talked about it with Dark Silence, and from what we were discussing, he was saying to do some more short hop nair, which was also in the notes that you gave me from previous lesson,
Mm-hmm.
which was explore uh, spam short hop drill shine and spam dash in short hop nair. Was in
Mm-hmm.
some of the notes that you from last time, and full hop because I feel like I've been doing a ton of run in. I'm right next to them, and then I shield, which is fine. But I feel like maybe they catch on to that, and then they just kind of cross me up when I could be doing some more run and shield, which my more recent replays is a lot more evident that I'm aware of that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm glad that I'm fixing that and doing more than just that and doing some more full hop, drills that. But I would still kind of like your thoughts on that. Then as well as on like Yoshi's or Fountain or Battlefield. I know Falco really likes the control on the top platform. I wanted to know what does Fox do when he has control on the top platform? Because
When
to me,
Fox, what does Fox do when Fox has control of the top platform?
yeah, or
Um.
like
Mm-hmm.
prevents Falco from being there or has control of center. Because it feels like I kind of don't want to be up there unless I'm escaping.
No, basically, top plat is so powerful because it gives you strong control of the center stage, especially on like Yoshi's. So
Yeah.
like on Battlefield, it's way less significant. Like on Battlefield, the top platform is like a purely defensive place.
Okay, I was thinking Battlefield in my mind.
Yeah, no, it like Yoshi's and Fountain, the top. Like I have the stages like split up in my head, and there's like obviously FD and Stadium have no top plat, but then
Okay.
like Dreamland and Battlefield both have defensive top platforms, and then Yoshi's and Fountain have offensive top platforms, and it's more about the how what's it called, like how small the stage is horizontally. It's
Mm.
like really narrow, and so when you're on the top plat, like running off the top plat or something on Yoshi's, there's not much space left on the stage. If you're covering the edge of the top plat on Yoshi's. Here,
Right.
one sec. Let me screen share because I just pulled up the
I know
replay.
what you mean. There's like the very corner and kind of like the middle of the left platform or middle of the right platform.
Yeah, like basically it just covers like a lot of space on the stage, and so that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah. Then the last one would be uh, Falco random there and still feels good. I don't think it really is evident in any of the replays that I sent you, but I have two that kind of is more on that. I think maybe it's another issue, uh,
Okay, and what was it?
and I'm
I
just
just didn't
not
hear what you
recognizing it.
said.
Oh, Falco Darren.
Just in general?
I think it'll make more sense when you see it.
Okay, okay. All right. Do you want to get started on this then? On this one?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So let's see. All right.
We ran into each other again.
I see.
Yeah.
Um.
Don't pay so much mind to the uh, first stock,
Sure.
but yeah. Though I would like to talk about openings, like when you're starting the game. What should I really be doing? Because I feel like um I've seen some people like IBW, he kind of shield drops runs in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've been doing like that sometimes, or I've been doing and trading lasers to get them past 5%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what is generally considered good.
Okay, so I think that for Fox getting a little bit of damage on Falco, it doesn't really matter all that much. Um,
Oh,
so like that's why I think like basically there's two viable strategies, and they're both fine. And the first one is like you do the Cody, where it's like the match starts and you just basically go to get in on Falco. Uh,
mm,
Typically, I talk to the Falco players about how like for Falco getting Fox past, I
it's
always say like
8%.
yeah, like 8%, 10% is like really really important. So I always tell the Falcos that like at the beginning of every stock, when you're both at zero, whatever, your job as the Falco is to like land a bunch of lasers on Fox.
Right.
And as Fox, you have basically two options, and the first one is like, okay, you're gonna Falco's not gonna be able to land all these lasers on you that he wants because you're gonna like get in first. So you're basically like, well, I'm getting so far across the stage before he even really gets his lasers out that like maybe you make it to here before the lasers are out, and then you're like, oh, now I have top plat, and I'm like wave dashing off the top plat, and I'm like threatening this whole space kind of like right here, and Falco's in the corner. That's like one option. Then the other option is sort of seeing what Falco is gonna do, being like, all right, I don't really want to like commit so heavily and like really jump right into the fray. Maybe you want to take it a little slower. So in that case, you can shield the lasers, you can shine them back, and you're basically playing this vertical game right on this edge of the platform here of like shield. Maybe you shield Falco's laser, and then you shield drop laser, and then you like shine or shield his laser. Um, Getting like a couple lasers on Falco doesn't actually help all that much. I think getting like one is really useful. Um, One or two,
Okay.
mostly just because it'll prevent Like if you hit like a single hit up air at 0, it's not gonna knock down, I think.
Yeah.
But if you get like 1 or 2 lasers, it does. So it'll help, but I don't think it's necessarily. Sometimes I think playing like that defensive game can give the Falco a little bit more time to kind of get comfortable. But some Falcos react better or worse to each of these approaches, and then like some foxes use each approach better or worse. So it's kind of just like preference whether you'd rather start more like observationally or a little bit more like pressure style.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, cool. Okay.
My movement out of lasers there were sloppy, but it gets better.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just wanted to mention that you have to be really careful to not like
Shield out of lasers.
No, you don't want to attack at the maximum part of your drift. Like just easy with like an illustration. So it's like here's the ground, and then like here's Falco, and then here's you, and then like if this is your max drift forward, and you're just attacking where Falco is, then if he moves to just here, he can guarantee that you're never gonna like reach him. Like even if you can either drift all the way forward and be here, or you can drift back and kind of end up in like these spots out of like your drift back. But like he knows over here, he's like I'm totally safe no matter what. So if I just move to this range here and then I shoot a laser to the left, it'll hit every jump like landing position you have. And so that like just inherently makes this like a pretty weak aerial. But if Falco's here and you're here and your max jump is here or like here, like you're a little bit closer, so your full hop max range is there, then like Falco, by moving back, he could move into your full drift. So like if Falco decides to move back, you can read him with your full drift. If he stays where he is, you can read him with this. If he moves forward, you can hit him with this. And so you kind of have like and you have the ability to land on this side of him or on this side of him. And so it basically gives you like a way stronger mix up than if you ever do it at like max range. And that's like a big thing that Falcos will use to manipulate you. And a lot of times you want to make sure to just do a dash full hop, because if you dash full hop, obviously like the range that you can cover horizontally with the full hop is so much bigger that you're almost never going to like max out the range. But I do this a lot against foxes where I like laser their shield and then I dash in and then they full hop drill and I know the exact max range of their drill, so I just move outside of it and laser, and it's like really easy. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you can, you want to make things kind of ambiguous, and if you can actually drill like right here, it's kind of like Fox. You know how you get shield poked like back here, like tail and the back of your foot? It's the same for Falco. He gets shield poked back here all the time, except he also gets poked like here. So if you can kind of like make your down airs like this type of angle or like this, like kind of ambiguous and diagonal on him, those are just a lot stronger. Okay. Nice tech chase. Nice. Okay. Great. Did everything really well in that combo. That was like really smart.
Thanks.
You probably want to just like light shield here instead of the regular shield. But honestly, I was telling somebody the other day about the regular shield. There's like not that bad, but light shield just it's just better because it just uses less shield over time while they're invincible. So, okay, so you're doing this thing where you're like, you're actually, okay, you're like almost there.
I know, that's what it feels.
Yeah, no, I can feel you're almost there. All right, I'm going to give you the missing step. So, you're doing the thing where you're like, you're waiting, you're watching Falco's movements, and you wait for your like your moment, right? And then you choose that moment and you like move in really quick and you like try to crush them for being a little slower, out of position, whatever, right? That's what it looks like you're doing. And so all of that is perfect. It's just that when you go in for your push, that needs to be a bait. Like you set up the advantageous position and everything, and then you're like, okay, now it's clearly in this position where I could probably like crush Falco, and you use that to make Falco do something to defend himself, and then you hit him.
I see.
So like what's happening here is you're both feeling like the flow of this. So like when he up tilts you. Let me see where is it. I think it's further back.
No, I haven't tried that at all.
Yeah, no, that's like it's like the one missing step. You keep like step 1, and I'm like, you're like step 2, I'm like yeah, and you're like step 3, and that's it. I'm like no, it's 4. There's 4. Like that's how it feels. Like there's just one more. So it's like right here. Where's this up tilt? I saw him up tilt. I don't know. I'm just tripping out.
I'm sure there was an up tilt. Right there.
No, he up tilted you.
Oh, he up tilted me.
Was it just even earlier?
It was probably just earlier.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back even more because I wanted to make a point about it.
Yeah, we're not tight on time, so.
Yeah, no, we're good. Exactly.
I didn't want to feel constrained by that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm fine with doing longer ones. Dude, where was the up tilt? My brain is like 100% certain there was like a spot, and you did the thing again, and then you went in and he up tilted you. And then like I saw it, and now I'm just like, where is it? All right, I'm going back even farther. I'm finding the stupid up tilt. Just watching Falco. I'm like, all right, where's the up tilt? If there's no up tilt, I'm just crossed the universe barriers. There it is.
Oh, right there.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, dude, no. I know I saw an up tilt.
See, in my brain, I do a double jump there, and then they up tilt, and then they jump and hit me or something, and I'm just in a bad spot.
Okay.
Yeah,
so right here. So it's like... So Falco is at this negative frame position. It's like, it's like a negative frame position because of the missed forward smash, but you're clearly too far away to actually punish. So this is just any time you're at some form of a frame disadvantage, like Falco gets stuck.
This is where I go in.
Falco,
right?
Yeah, this is where you go in, exactly, because you see an advantage. It's like when Falco gets his laser pressure on Fox, he knows it's time to do something. Mm-hmm. So you know you have an advantage, it's time to do something. So what you have to realize is that when you come in like this, it's like, I don't know if you ever played chess. There's moves that are like forcing. And like those are the important moves. You want to play moves that like force your opponent to do responses. And so if you're like, well, I forced them to do this response, and then I just played into that. It's like, no. You're forcing them to do a response. They've got to shield this. They've got to up tilt. They need to do something. Like if Falco just is like, Fox won't come in here, I'll just keep lasering or something. Like they're just going to get hit the majority of the time because they're already at a disadvantage. So like Falco in this position is like, I'm at a frame disadvantage and Fox is coming in. And so you need to be like, this is the time. But instead of actually trying to hit Falco, you try to scare Falco. And then when they throw out this up tilt, you get a free win without the gamble. Because that's the problem is you're getting in the good situation, but you're like, I guess I still just have to take the gamble. And then Falco just holds down and shines or something. So it's like the feeling of like finding the moment and then using that moment to like make a bait rather than using that moment to just instantly hit them. And sometimes it is the time to just instantly hit them, but that shouldn't be the basis.
Yeah, that's a mix-up, right.
Yeah, it's like a mix-up where you want to heavily... Like, I always tell people, like, you want 100% win rate, and the better a player is against you, the more they take away from that 100% win rate. But, like, your goal should be to, like, win using the options that require you to gamble the least. And if somebody's really, really good, they'll force you to play certain mix-ups. But if you can beat there's a lot of Falcos in the world that I could just beat with my Fox, just literally doing this whole thing, and then you just run up and you're like, ah, here I come! And you just wait.
Right.
And you just see what they do. And then sometimes you run up and you dash back. That's like bait number 1. Sometimes you run up and you get close and then you full hop. And that's number 2. Because a lot of times it's like you go up, you dash back. If they down air in, you beat that. If you go in and then you wait for a second and then you full hop and they attack in, you beat that. And a lot of times also the full hop or the dash back will also beat, spot dodge or up tilt or a lot of these options that Falco does. And you can also do like the run in shield as another one. And a lot of these options like overlap. Like a lot of them beat down air. A lot of them beat just early aerial in general. And they're generally pretty safe. Like not really the shield one is somewhat safe, not really. It's safer to like dash back or full hop. But like basically you just want to be able to beat people without being in danger. So if you can like create a situation where there's like clear mental tension and then like try to bait somebody and the whole time you were totally safe, and if they take the bait you kill them, if they don't take the bait you're totally safe. You want to do that as much as possible. Like minimize the risks you take. And you basically don't want a laser at all. As Fox against Falco. Okay, so you're waiting for your moment. Yeah, okay, so it's like, I just want you to like see what's happening here. You're waiting for your moment. 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 This is really good. You see your moment. You both see your moment. And the Falco's like, oh, they're doing the thing. Well, okay, so he's going to do something, and I'll just do my response. And then that's why they're getting you. But if you didn't commit to this, and you did full hop, double jump here, like Waveland down, and then Falco does this, you can just, shield drop and punish it or whatever.
Right.
So, like, this, it's like you're like, creating the situation that is supposed to make you win, but you're, like, using it to make the Falco win.
Right.
But that situation was, like, entirely on you. Where it's like, no, you had full control of that situation, and you did a good job waiting for your vulnerability. It's just right now, like, the vulnerability on their end is, like, baiting you. It's like, no, it should be baiting them.
I'm just playing myself.
Okay, so right here, out of the lasers, so, have we gone over how safe dash back is?
We've gone back.
Yeah. Yeah, the
I'm
dash...
just missing it.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure. The other thing is to keep in mind that the dash back out of laser is, I think, only like a 2-frame buffer, whereas like jumping out of laser is like a 10-frame buffer or something insane. I don't remember what it is, but it's like super free to jump out. So if you're ever kind of like confused by the timing, just doing like a full hop, and especially like full hop drift back or something like that, is like a really good panic option.
You've talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah, see my slow turnaround? I just missed my dash back.
That makes sense. Yeah. Just because, like, the 2 lasers in a row, I think. Yep. Okay, let's see. So... Alright, this is another thing, and I know it's hard to react to...
Wave dash forward.
Yeah,
right?
Good job. Just whenever Falco goes up, you go horizontally.
Yeah, we've talked about that one, too.
Okay, cool. It's hard for me to remember all of them. I just mention what I see when it pops up. I'm just like, oh, that's that thing.
I look at my own play, I'm like, there's everything to work on, but I'm not going to work on everything all at once.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh my goodness. We won't talk about that.
No.
Okay, you gotta tech those. I'm sure you do like C stick in, up on control stick or whatever here, right?
You mean when
to tech the down air?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm sure this is a funny interaction.
Honestly, not that bad. Like, basically in this stage, when you have Falco in the corner, this stage in particular, you can just kind of, like, wall and do stuff, like, right here, and it's really hard for Falco to deal with using the platform,
Pokemon's,
too.
right?
Yeah, and Stadium, for sure. You're right.
Yeah.
Very similar. But yeah, you don't really want to be shooting lasers here. Because you don't...
doing that a ton.
Yeah, because you don't need the lasers. Like, Fox can just kill it. Like, Fox can get a knockdown at 0 with drill or grab. or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I thought I needed them.
no, you don't need them. Only Falco.
Like, man, it's so hard to get these lasers against
Yeah,
Falcon.
no, you need him against Falcon.
Yeah, against Falcon, but
So okay, so check this out. So okay, so this is one thing is that like what I'll say is this just never go for these. Like
okay. I know he can ASDI up.
no, I mean like when he's like all the way up. When he's on this top plat, going for the up air is a little different because you can mix up between like full hop up air or full hop or a jump instant double jump up air to land on the platform, and that like beats the SDI up and that type of thing. Okay. I'm just talking about when he's like on the side plat or something and he just like full hops from was it from the side plat or from the ground? Oh, he just double jump. But it's like the same thing where it's like basically how do I describe it? So punishing Falco for jumping like this is really good. But the problem is what's going to happen is you're just going to get reversaled here like 500 times. So the solution here is you don't need these. Like you don't need to hit Falco
I
here.
follow. Yeah, that's for another time.
It's like a really really advanced thing where it's like basically like I don't know, like when you're Cody, you're like I can hit this up air, and then maybe 50% of the time you get reversaled and die, but half the time you kill Falco, and you're like it's fine with me. But anywhere below that level, it's like you're just getting it reversaled more often than not. Like what I'll say is like West Balls is like the freaking best player in the world at full hop double jump away and down airing with Falco. He's like insane at it, and I played him for years and. Eventually, I thought I was pretty good at this matchup in Fox Falco, and I just basically accepted that every time he went up like that, I was just going to let him. I was just going to wait until he came down. Because I think it's like... And it's good also to have that. Like, once you've established that if he goes up, you're just going to, like, let him come down and just tap him with a quick drive-by back air or something every time. And you're not going to try to get anything big. And he can never, ever reversal you out of it, it's like, that's fine, because it never becomes negative value. And someday, if you want to slightly optimize it more, that's fine. But for now, just learn to stalemate this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to bring that up. Is that this is like a kind of similar thing where I was talking about where, like... So look at this, so he misses the forward smash, and then... It's the same thing again, where Falco's like, I'm in a frame disadvantage. Mm-hmm. It's okay, my trusty up tilt will work. But I don't know whether it was for whatever reason you did it, but you successfully dash danced and waited out this up tilt from Falco's.
Well, I was afraid of just instant running down air or F smash, whatever they like to do, I know he wasn't going to shoot a laser. There's no way. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let's see what they do.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you should be doing more when you're like, they're going to throw something out right here. It's like, I don't know, let's see. Let's see what they throw out. And I think this is also like a thing that people struggle with in general. It's like a small thing that like, it's okay to not punish people for things. And I kind of just went over it with this. But like, if you think Falco is going to down air in here and you dash full hop and he short hop down airs and you full hop and nothing happens, that's okay. It's okay to not punish people for stuff. But but basically this is the same thing where Falco does the forward smash, panics, does the up tilt, except you come in at a better timing. You're still a little bit late, but it was a much better idea in general. The only small thing here is you got to make sure to drill grab or drill up tilt on this stage, because
I know I was looking at it and I was shaking my head.
But otherwise, like in a perfect world, you won neutral here and you got your correct opener, and you could have done drill grab, and if you're KGH. I'm at 85 and off, or Falco's at 85 and off stage after this,
So there, I was messing up my controller. So
okay.
Yeah, I know to just shine that. Though I guess he could maybe attack it, but it's still
no grab edge here and then drop double jump drill.
Yeah, okay.
But I understand the situation, so you didn't do too bad. Okay. I actually like your punish game right now. I think your punish game is definitely not... Except for those, obviously. I think, like, once you have, like, the up air or something, your punish game is actually looking, like, pretty good. Like, you're doing, like, the standard straightforward Fox punish, which is solid. Mm-hmm. Just those, like, The drill openers and stuff are rough
Yeah.
right now. And those.
You said to do what there exactly again?
Okay, so the best option you can possibly do here, which is what Aklo does really well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, a little bit further back. Okay, so if you're really, 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 really crazy good right here, you just do super crazy SDI this direction, up and in, and what will happen is Fox will just slide off and you'll
Slide
grab
off.
edge. And
Yeah,
that's
sometimes
the
that happens.
best option you can do. But it's a little unreliable, based on like the exact height that Falco hits you and stuff like that. So it's a lot more common to basically go for this SDI, but then also like make sure to just tech this. And if you just do like no wall jump tech or something, that's fine. Wall jump tech is also fine. Like basically, you're in a pretty bad spot, but this shouldn't kill you. Well, okay, this shouldn't kill you like 75% of the time. As Falco, if I do this down air, I'm like prepared to continue my combo slash edge guard,
Yeah, and
or
C-stick
for them
in.
to slide off somehow
And C-stick in, right?
here. Yeah, it's just like you can C stick in, but like I would say like in general, C stick in if you're going for like the tech, but if you're going for the SDI, sometimes it's like okay, yeah, probably just C stick in. I I don't like it's just complicated basically. Like if you're going for the SDI, maybe you want to like friggin' C stick in and up or something. I don't really know. But if
Let's
you're going
pretend
for
I'm not going for the SDI.
yeah, if you're just going for the tech, just C stick in, and then you can decide whether to do jump tech or no jump tech, basically with the control
Okay.
stick. Sometimes it just gets complicated. I'm like, I don't even know. Like I don't even know
Yeah.
like all the whole situation. I just know like what are like common things that happen out of it. No, okay, yeah. So this was all really good up till this point. So this is good.
That
All,
wasn't a
all
good
this,
drill?
huh?
That wasn't a good drill?
No, and it wasn't a good drill because of the range thing, where you're hitting him at the maximum of your drift here.
Oh, okay.
And so even if you hit this, like Falco is just gonna like single SDI away or something here. It's just like you're too much at the max of your range. That's like the thing is that like everything up to this drill was good, and even like the idea of the drill was fine. But like instead of this shield here, okay. So here's the thing: if you shield here, you can't do the drill afterward, basically. Because
Okay.
you want like the dash jump, and so
Dash.
like shielding
Right.
here, totally good decision. You read him coming in, but if he doesn't come in, like you can't just transition. You can't have both. You can't have well, I'm shielding and also I'm doing this approaching drill mix up, because you know maybe you can do that with a short hop if you're right in front of Falco, like shield and then short hop shine or short hop
Right.
drill because he's like right there. But the full hop is like you're not gonna get like the range. So if you had done shield, wave dash back, gone it again, done a little dash dance. Because you do like a little delay here on the shield jump, which is good. Right there, like this little delay to like wait for him to fall. And that's fine.
Yeah, I
But
didn't know I couldn't shield and do the full hop. So that's
yeah,
good to
like
know.
basically you just want to be dash dancing here if the full hop is going to be your next move. But the timing, the timing and the move choice and all that was good. It was just that you didn't do it out of a dash, so you ended up at this max range problem that we talked about.
Right.
So you're like, it's so close. It's almost there. This is like that same thing where it's like, we all know that after this position that Falco's scared, basically.
Right.
So you played this dash dance out really well. You can do a million other options here, but that was totally fine. And then right here, we all know that this is, like, you did it.
Right.
Like, your neutral game achieved a situation where Falco got scared and put themselves at a disadvantage. And so, okay, so first of all, don't start your drills this early. Ever.
Yeah, I've been doing rising dare. I don't know why. I think I'm messing up my short hop.
Okay. But okay. That's fine. But in general just make sure don't start until you're past the peak.
Yeah, because otherwise, you know, it doesn't really matter if I'm not landing on him.
Yeah, and it keeps you actionable as long as possible. So like if you start your full hop, and then just
Gets
as
in
you're
my double jump
just
mixed
as
up.
you're starting your full hop, you can see stuff happen, and yeah, you can double jump, but sometimes it'll even just be to change your drift out of it. Like to change your drift because to change your drift and like your move choice. Like you might jump up for the drill and then they cross you up and you have to drift back and barely like land a back air or something. If you commit
Cannot
to the
drift if I'm doing an aerial.
that was what I wanted to clarify was I was what I was trying to mean is that like um just that like you might have to like yeah, I just phrased it wrong. Basically, if you drift back your drill, you're just never going to get as much distance as if you drifted back like a back air. So by jumping up with your drill, you're basically like limiting the range that you can cover because you can't use your other
Okay.
moves. And I just said it wrong. It was totally my bad.
Okay.
But it's basically just the idea that like because you're actionable, you have the ability to like adapt to the situations better, whether it be with a double jump or with like an aerial timing.
Yeah, I thought my issue was I wasn't using all my mix-up, um, like going through them enough, right? Like I was doing one, too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I have multiple options in step 3. Um, I never knew there was a step 4, right? And then hearing that sounds like it really solves the problem that I was having, right?
Okay.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
very nice to hear that.
Yeah, because it's like up until that point, you're doing a lot of like really rational like movements. Like you're not putting yourself in bad spots or anything like that. Like right here, you're making sure. Yeah, good shield. Yeah, Falco's terrified right here. The one thing is, I would say right here, this same situation would be so insanely powerful, and you would just win the game if you were
I was
facing
dash
backwards.
dancing. Oh,
If you were facing
oh, because it's
backwards.
back air, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, because this position in your shield, not even dash dancing, this shield position is stronger than the dash dance. Because you're in a position where you're putting massive pressure on Falco while being totally safe from anything except for grab. And so yeah, this is so good. This position's amazing if you just stand
Could you
backwards.
explain why? Because when I was watching, I wasn't too sure if that was a good position or not.
Um,
Like, I understand.
well, Falco can't get a laser out because you can just short hop back air.
What do you mean by short hop back air? You mean like which direction?
Like short hop towards the corner and back air. Like if you're facing backwards here,
Okay,
like if you short hop drift
I was
this way
thinking
and
full
back
hop.
air, you cover like
Right.
the remainder of the stage. And so most of the time you're not even gonna do that. You can kind of just stand here and like short hop back air shield, short hop back air shield. SFAT is
And
actually the best fox at this in my
and
SFAT
do I do
and
bear?
hacks.
Do I do bear instead of nair? So if they jump through me, they get caught, or
Um, the bear has just kind of like a better like hitbox range. I maybe because of like the way Falco jumps. Uh, it's just like
okay.
the back air sticking up like this is just more useful than the nair like down here sticking like this.
And
Just
are you referring to my current position or if my back was turned?
if your back was turned.
Okay, then
If
yeah,
you're
I
in
understand what
this
you're.
position, I would probably do something like full hop, waveland down, turn around, drop back air shield. Like I would like reestablish this position but backwards.
Okay.
You could also do something here like full hop, drift back to here, and then like dash dance shield back air type stuff. Like you're basically like you can reset it up. You're just in a position where you want to keep Falco um like I can do it with this platform. It's basically like here. Like you want to keep Falco more in the corner than like right here. And so you're just kind of playing around like this range, like right here, like this kind of box. You're kind of playing in this box. And he has a hard time doing it. You have the side plat here to waveland off of. You're shielding. You have the back airs. Like, I think if he wavelands to here, I think your back air, short hop back air still hits him. Just because the platform's so short in this spot. Um, so yeah, it's just a really strong position. As you can see right here, if you were facing backwards, this is just a back air.
Yeah.
Just a
Okay.
hit.
that makes a lot more sense. You saw how I retreated there. I kind of wandered into that position.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's good that you're able to
Mm-hmm.
comment on that. Because when I was playing, I felt like I was in not really a bad spot, but kind of uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. I see. No, you just gotta remember that Falco's in a really uncomfortable spot because he doesn't know what you're
Yeah,
gonna do there.
I knew he was nervous, but I didn't know what I could do about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so right here, this is kind of like a similar spot. Okay, so right here, keep not pausing in time. Okay, and then you do here. So right here, this is another short hop back air position. You can even do late short hop back air. So what I would do here is short hop in place, empty short hop in place, and then like a late back air on his shield right here.
Okay.
And you could even do like late back air shine, short hop, early back air drift back, and now you've reset the position while he's stuck still. He's stuck here still. But basically, if you full hop here, so full hopping here and like kind of hanging out right here is fine. I much prefer staying close to the ground in this position. So like when you do this, you give him a chance to exit to the left here. Whereas if you just short hop back here right here, he doesn't really feel like he can just super force his way out. Okay, nice. Be really careful with stuff like this, like these up airs. You don't want to don't look for things that aren't the things you know.
I was
that's
trying
like
to
a
do
good rule in
power
Melee in
shield,
general.
the up air,
This
not
up,
the power shield. Or
this
I
up
have to
air.
see the situation again.
Yeah, it's like this up here on the side plat here, like that.
Yeah, I think that one.
What about it?
I'm pretty sure I thought I had a power shield go in opportunity.
Awful.
I didn't. I can see that, but
yeah, no, but what?
I think that's what I was thinking. Right, like power shield go in, which I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's what I was doing.
Okay. Okay, this back air was actually really good. Everything here is perfect. You just drifted to the left too far. If you had just spaced this a little bit better, like drift like this way, and then barely space the back air, he wouldn't have this shield grab, and it would just be safe pressure. And you're actually in like kind of that position where you can kind of just keep short hop back airing like we just talked about. Nice. The clutch. Like, yeah, I just, turned it up.
And I sent you another game. If there's any games you want to see specifically, I have a couple. I don't think I have everything for every stage. Since, like I was saying before, I've been making good amount of improvements lately, so some of my previous games are kind of outdated. But
that's
hey,
good. It's good when your old
valuable.
games are outdated.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
They're still pretty valuable since the only thing that's wrong is my old bad habits are more common, right?
Right,
so
yeah.
We don't focus on that.
That makes
the one
sense.
That you just watched was from today.
Okay.
The other ones aren't from today, but that's okay. I still think they're very good. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
I don't know why I jumped.
Yeah, jumping here was fine as long as you fell through the fell through the platform.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna do that.
So, kind of like I don't know if I talked with you about this, but basically, a big reduction of this matchup is that both characters want to be the character who's coming from above.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know of that.
Yeah. So it's basically like if you're in positions where you end up like here or something, your goal should just be like, okay, I'll just like not interact, like I'll just like leave.
Yeah, just return to
Anytime those happen. And then when you're here and you kind of don't have anything happening, you should in some sense be like, okay, what's an evil plan for how I can like attack from above Falco? So not that I necessarily saw you doing this, but it's like a common issue for certain foxes where because they're working on the grounded game of getting through lasers and full hopping over it and stuff like that, they kind of like don't play, they just sort of ignore the vertical game, and it's like, well, I move on the platforms when I'm safe and Falco's on the platforms when he's safe, and then like, or he's safe when he's on the platforms, and then I'm kind of waiting for him to come down to like fight me. And you can play like that. It's just a little bit more, I would prefer to see some sort of like vertical movement, and it should kind of look like you're trying to get above him. Like people really like this setup where they're here and then you do like wave dash off, and you can either like aerial here or like fall through aerial or double jump back up to here.
Okay.
There's like some good pressure like that, like if you were kind of using this angle on the platform, like kind of this edge of this platform and like this edge of this top platform are really good to kind of like line up, like mix up attacks onto Falco. And even if the Falco is like really good at defending themselves, you won't really get too many of those, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It basically just automatically puts you in like a strong position to like think about attacking Falco from above.
Yeah, I was speculating about that, which is why I was asking, what should we be doing with Fox on top plat? Because I knew there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't sure really where to go with that.
Yeah. Okay. So here, let me just. I'll pull up the game again in a second.
No, I thought it was the same thing as if they're like under you and you're on a platform, right? Well, not exactly directly under you, but you know.
What do you
I'm saying,
mean exactly by that?
like they're on side plat, right? They're not gonna be able to really just jump up and hit you, because if you do something, if you full hop, right, or if you're just shielding, or they just miss, right, then they'll just be in a very bad spot. So they more than likely won't just double jump or jump from a side plat to try and dare you or shine a ton.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'm gonna pull up the game, and then we can look at it in the game.
Right.
Okay.
And if they're approaching from below you, then I think dare should still be pretty good on side plat. Like what? Who was it? SFAT? Who does that a lot?
SFAT,
you know
the short hop drill on side plat.
Yeah,
that's the SFAT. Dude, my like adapter is like flipping out.
What's your pulling?
Try like re-plugging it in. I probably have to like just unplug the adapter and plug it back in, or restart the computer at some point. I'll give it one more try. Yes. Okay, we're back. Let's go. Okay.
Okay.
That was nice. Okay. So. Okay. So you were talking about this thing, right?
Yes.
And yeah, this thing is really good, and it's especially good on like Stadium or something where you don't really have a top plat to deal with. So I think like this is really good. So basically, the idea is that if Falco is here, which happens a lot, like you get this and then he's there.
Yeah.
If you are in this position, you can attack in a lot of different ways. You can do this, run off. You can do drop through. Actually, I'm going to move Falco forward a little bit to the same position, and then I'll just save this.
You could D-pad right.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, you have the runoff, you have the drop through, you have like a timing mix up, like something like this, where you like just dash dance and then you drop. You have the short hop one, which is really, really strong, and you have the full hop one, which is also pretty strong. And so there's a lot of times when you end up something like this, and you get something like that. This is like so difficult for Falco to actually deal with, because you could be doing this one, but instead you're doing this.
Right.
And so it's like, oh man, you could be doing that, you could be doing this, you could do a little dash dance like this, and then go boom, and it creates a situation. And the same thing happens from up here, where you can do this, like you can run off, do that, you can do this, you can do this. This is like a really common one, like Curve likes to do. A lot of Falcos and stuff do this too, where you do this and you drop through and you hit like that, or you just kind of do like something that, like, I don't know, like is really common for Cody or Leffen to do, is they'll do something like this, where they just short hop in this spot where, like, this is what I was talking about, like lining up this kind of angle on Falco, is that like if you do this short hop, you can end up here, you can go like this, like I can end up covering this option, I can drop through and cover this, I can do this, and then I can jump back to the top plat, I can do this, and then this. And so it's like a situation where Falco doesn't really want to be there because he gets kind of schmixed on while he's underneath this platform, and you're on like the top plat. And this becomes like hyper pronounced on like Yoshi's and Fountain, because the top platform's even lower and the stage is smaller. So basically, like, having these like above positions is really good, and then from here you can also just do something like this, where you short hop the center.
Yeah, I do that one a lot.
Okay, so that one's pretty good, and this is more of like a standard safe option, and you're like, okay, I'm here, and then, you know, jump here, and then we go in, or something like that. But using this sort of diagonal angle is really, really strong on Falco, and if I'm playing a Fox and I know they threaten it a lot, and I know that they're kind of like looking for stuff like this, I'm a lot more likely to be here as Falco and just kind of like roll and get out of the way, and I'm kind of looking for like a way to, you know, get above them. But if you're Fox and you're here and Falco's there and you're kind of doing this, you don't want to be like the Fox where you're like, well, either, you know, I'm just kind of trying to keep you out here, and then if you push in, maybe I'll get you, and then maybe if you give me enough time, I'll like hop in. It's like, yeah, that's like moderately effective. But if you're here and you're like, like, dude, just even like from here, just moving to this position and Falco's right there, it's kind of scary for Falco.
And does drill fine too?
Huh?
Fall through that and drill. You did nair, bear, and stuff like that.
You're saying like this drill or whatever? Yeah. Yeah, the drill there is okay. The problem is that a lot of times drill's just basically not as safe on shield. That's why. And if you're gonna do the drill, you want to make sure you land on the side plat. Because if you do something like this, what if they just jump into it? You know,
right?
Like if they jumped at any point, you're just gonna tap them with the drill and they'll be fine. Whereas if you do something like this and you run off and you do like the nair, you might get, you know, something that actually kills out of it. So if you're here, and let's do it like that was the previous game where you're here and Falco's here, you don't need to. You don't need to have this feeling that, like, okay, Falco can drop laser, and he's doing the Falco thing where he's playing around the edge of the side plat where he's like trying to threaten this runoff down air versus this runoff laser that's really strong for Falco. So you don't have to just sit here and let him like do what he wants. Like, yeah, you can kind of just do your game, and I'm the dash dancing Fox. It's like, no, when Falco's right there, he's in danger, because what if I do this and I'm just here? And then it's like, well, now I'm setting up a situation where I can do this and I can attack you, or I can do this and I can attack you, or I can do this and then jump up and then do that and attack you, or I can do this and then come down here and then come back up and then come down here and then come back down and then do this and attack you. And so it's like you have more like active options by using the vertical space than you would by just playing here. Even if, you know, you're not technically like losing anything by playing this position, this one has a little bit more to gain, and a lot of times, basically, if you're just here, this is this nice ground plane for Falco to like set up lasers on. That's really nice.
Right. It was the thing that you were talking about before, where at that point Falco's like, well, if I don't do anything, that lets them punish it, right?
Exactly. Like it's forcing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, let's say so Falco's here and you're here, and let's say you do this, and you're maybe like here. So Falco doesn't want to really just stay right there, and he doesn't have a way to hit you with lasers at all. So, like, a lot of times, a common mistake Falco will make here is you jump up like this, and then Falco will do, like, I should just get down. And they're like, well, I might as well shoot a laser. So they go, And now you're here, and they're just finishing their laser animation. And so, if they're like this, and then you're here and you do this, and Falco's just finishing his laser as you're here, then you get this, and then they up tilt, ba-boom. This happens, I do this so freaking much, where I get that, where I do this as Fox, and then the Falco's here, and then they drop, and I get this, and then I just do this, and they always go, ugh. And then I shield drop, drill, grab, whatever, and then I murder them for it.
And why do you drop? From top plat to side plat? Like, did you
Why do I drop from
decide
top
to go down, or did you see them drop themselves?
You're saying, like, right here? Like,
Yeah.
why did I decide to come down?
Yeah.
Because attacking Falco from above is advantageous.
So, is it fine?
Like, Falco doesn't want to have me falling
as well?
on him. To, like, drill here? Plat? You can, but it's just worse against, like, shield. Because the main threat here is that Fox is either going to, like, tomahawk grab, or they're going to do, like, late nair shine. Because, like, late nair shine beats shield drop shine.
And what if Falco dares in place?
Bears in place?
Oh, dare.
Dares? Like, he's here and he does this?
Yeah.
But he's just going to get, like, wave dash off back here or something. Or I'm going to run off drill up tilt.
And that's not gonna trade?
Not if I win the mix-up.
Okay.
It's
I follow.
Basically like, so laserless Falco loses to Fox. That's like a known fact. And so if you are on a vertical plane where Falco cannot shoot you with a laser, you're fighting against laserless Falco, which is pretty good for you. I'm just saying, like, if you're Falco and you're here, you don't have any lasers. If Fox is doing this, you feel kind of threatened. Like, this doesn't feel like, oh, I'll just, like, passively react to whatever Fox does. Because it feels like he could get you really, really quick, and you won't have an ability to, like, defend yourself. And that's just true anytime Fox is above you. Even when Falco's all the way down here, and you're Fox right here, you don't feel particularly, like, safe as the Falco here. I don't know. Like, imagine this position. Do you feel like, oh man, like, I'm just chilling here?
No.
It's like, no, Falco's gonna come down, he's gonna pressure me. And it's even worse as Falco, because he doesn't have this nice, like, get out of jail free full hop card. So, like,
I think top plat interactions with Falco and kind of my concerns show up in one of the 2 Battlefield games that I have. So,
okay, so you feel like
we'll expand more on that then.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of went over what I was hoping to go over. I just wanted to talk about those angles with the platforms. Those are actually, like, really important.
Okay. There's no audio, by the way, for the game.
Yeah. I think I just have it off.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm doing screen share anyway, so you wouldn't be able to hear the audio. Yeah, this is the early drill thing. And yeah, look at this. Every time, like, when you're above... So, like, remember that forcing thing that we were talking about? It's like, when you're above Falco, it's almost forcing by default. Like, you almost don't have to do anything already. Like, you're here, and this happens... You end up right here. Falco he's in a forced position right here. I would freaking shield and roll. I would just hope that you don't chase me. Like, this is literally, like, just, like, losing for Falco. Because Fox just has mix-ups here. So Falco's, like, kind of forced there. And it's like, wow, you didn't even have to, like, wait perfectly with the dash dance and create a situation where you had a frame advantage. You just were above Falco and the same amount of advantage happened.
Right.
And look, when Falco's above you, you feel kind of pressured. Like, when this happens, you feel kind of pressure to move out of the way and stuff like that. But now we're here. Look at this. Up tilt. It's forced. Falco doesn't want you to drop immediately and hit him. So you can just wait a split second and then drop and hit him every time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Falco wants to be above you. And so this is another thing that Falcos will do. And I just lost a Leffen because I attacked like this, and I'm still annoyed about it. And it's just that sometimes when the Fox goes up to this top plat, you feel the pressure as the Falco, and so to escape the pressure, rather than playing defensively, you just go for this, which is really, really bad. And as the Fox, you can just literally react to this and kill Falco. On Battlefield. On Yoshi's, this is kind of okay for Falco.
what would you react to punish that with?
Like, just like when you see Falco jumping up at you, just full hop or something, and if he does the aerial, you just up air it.
Okay.
Something like that. Or you can, like, shield it, and then shield drop back air, or whatever. Okay. So this is kind of how do I describe it? So first of all, this back air is like you're committing way too early, but this is sort of like so like basically when you're taking stocks from people, there's like a really common there's certain like flows of taking the stock that kind of come up a lot, and you kind of get really used to them. So this is like one that I can see coming on like a mile away now, which is basically you get this early combo, you get a bunch of up airs, you get a bunch of damage. So now what you should be thinking is, well, if you're playing somebody who's bad, like really bad, then your thought process would be like, oh, just keep throwing out moves to hit them. But the truth is, like, against a better opponent, you know they want to survive. And so an opponent who it's that same forcing thing, kind of. Similar. Where it's like, you put him in a really negative position where Falco wants to survive at all costs. He's a high percent. It's really rough. They don't want to get behind a stock. So they're going to try to do something to prevent you from killing them with the obvious thing. And so this is like the perfect position to bait like one thing out. Because you're like, look, I'm on you, I'm on you, I'm on you, I'm on you, I'm on you. And they go, I'm free, I'm finally free. And you're like, I'm on you. And they go, no, you're not. And then you're like, yeah, that was just like a bait. I just killed you.
You're right, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. Because exactly. So when they get out, like against a bad player, you can just keep forcing it. You can just like, nah, I'm still on you. And they're like, ah, you're right. But it's not true. So a good player, you realize that they're out. They realize they're out. And they want to turn the tide. They want to push back on you. And that's the perfect moment to just back off for a second and let them hang themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good nairs. So like, okay, so here's like an example of like a way that you could use the vertical spacing. So like we're right here. And you're playing the horizontal game. Falco's in the corner. None of this is really wrong. You basically get stuck here while Falco's approaching. You're like, okay, pretty normal. You just dash back to get out of the way. This is really good. Okay, so when you're in a position like this, why not just go here? Because Falco can't pressure here at all. He's coming. He's either going to end up here, or he's going to pressure the ground right here.
And he doesn't have anything that can even hit me.
So this is like a completely safe position completely. And if Falco goes to the top plat here and you had gone to the side, no skin off your nose. Everything's totally good. But if you go to the side plat here and then Falco makes this commitment, you get your little dash, dash, dash. Falco up tilts here, and then you just kill him because he's in a negative position because you're above him. So what you can do yeah.
You know that thing about how Fox can kind of like full hop away or short hop away from Peach and she can't catch him?
Yeah.
I know that kind of exists for Falco.
It does.
And I think about it. I haven't like used it all the time. Like I know I can be. So I know about that. I know what you're talking about. And I question myself as well. Why didn't I just do that? Like, I don't know. I want to be there in half a second too. So.
Yeah. No. It's a little bit of a different issue that I'm talking about actually, where it's more based on like a vertical timing thing. Okay, it's kind of like in the Fox Ditto, where like the other Fox will full hop, and then if you full hop after their full hop, then that means that they'll like land first, and then you kind of like land right on top of their landing with like a drill. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that situation comes up a lot in this matchup because being above the opponent is so important. So basically, what I'm saying is that, like, if Falco is above you and they're putting pressure, like, on your head that they're going to come down on you, and you get a position where you can get them to come down at the same time that you went up, you've successfully, like, reversaled them, kind of like reversaling out of the corner positionally. Where, like, so, like, right here, it's just the idea that you can use the fact that Falco is pressuring you to turn it around. Where you're like, Falco is pressuring me by coming down, and so Falco can no longer go up here because Falco has committed to down. So if I go up, Falco will continue down, and now we'll swap positions.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, gonna ignore that. Oh, crazy. Okay. Okay. Light shield on platforms when Falco's invincible.
Yeah.
That's just like keeps you safe forever. Pretty nice.
So in some of the older
Whoa.
VODs, I do a bunch of full hop nair at low percent, and I didn't do it today, but
No, I'm ignoring the stuff that is clearly like a little old compared to the last VOD.
yeah. This was probably like yesterday or the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay.
very funny
It
for me.
definitely feels a little bit different from the last one you showed me though. So
Yeah. I think all the rest will be like that.
okay. I think okay, so this is also another issue that a lot of foxes have is like cleanly hitting Falco because it changes your like expectations of the matchup. Um so let's see. Okay, so the thing I've been talking about with like where you create a force and then they do the thing and then you get your punish. Uh, the nice thing about those is that you get like the punish because you successfully baited them. You were able to like first of all in your head you're like if they do the thing I'm gonna punish them with X. So you like already know ahead of time which move you're gonna use, and so it lets your brain get really comfortable with like the fact that the combo is about to happen. And also you can like guarantee exactly how the combo is going to hit. And so uh like basically up until this point a lot of the openings that you've been creating are like there's like a I guess like they're more chaotic because like you'll kind of be like, well, this move beats all these bunch of things that Falco can do now that
Right.
he's in a negative position, so I'll do that. But the problem is that basically like the resulting situations out of that are like way more complicated and like numerous and stuff like that. So like having Falco in like a pretty good range and you feel like you have a good frame advantage and so you can kind of get like a nair out and then like maybe your nair kind of clips him. Um there's like so much that can come out of that like comboing out of it is inherently going to be less consistent. And I feel like that can it basically is like it leads to a sort of like lack of confidence in the way that people play Fox against Falco because they're not planning on their openings being like the cleanest thing ever. Um is there a better way to describe that?
I kind of get what you're saying.
It's yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
it feels like what I was thinking before when I was considering whether or not to have that something. I'm pretty sure if I have my punish game be stronger, I could be doing much better against Falcos. But at the same time, I know that's like kind of a trap, right? A trap mentality. To be like, oh, just work on the punish game constantly and
Right.
constantly, right? Because I can always
Mm-hmm.
improve more and more, and like I could probably beat this next level of Falco if I
Well,
was
I guess
fighting.
what I'm saying is that like your punish will it's kind of like so you're right, you don't want to like focus on like, oh, you just need to improve your punish, whatever. But what
Hmm.
I'm saying is that like you're almost like you're not taking the right like mental approach to punishing Falco because you're too
No,
used to punishing Falco out of chaotic situations that you win.
what? This is probably a hard question, but what approach should I be taking then?
So, and that the approach that I basically had brought up earlier, which is that like if you get an opening off of just like a pure advantage, and then mix up, and then you win. That's chaotic.
Oh,
It's hard
right.
to know what's going to
Step
happen.
four.
So if you create a bait and the situation happens exactly as you imagined, the Falco up tilted exactly where you hoped they would, or they spot dodged, or they lasered right where you thought they would, those, or they rolled right where you thought they would, those like those are way less chaotic situations because the state they're in when your combo is starting is like guaranteed. Like you know exactly where the combo is gonna start, and so you can
Right.
come into the combo with like a more surgical mindset that like, aha, I hit this combo, like more like a box player or something, like very like straightforward and like mechanical, rather than kind of like a very intuitive reactive experience, which it is if you're kind of like not getting these clean openers. So I basically think that like because you haven't been playing with like that level 4 or whatever, like the extra bait that we talked about to get him to do
Hmm.
the thing, you're just really used to your openings happening out of chaotic situations. And so you're like not used to like nice clean combos that you can just cleanly get.
Right.
That is like my impression from watching these. And so I think like if you play more of that style where you're like baiting out the specifics into like the exact punish, you can kind of like I think by playing that way you'll kind of condition yourself to punish Falco in a better way anyway.
Right.
It's just something to keep in mind. Um, Out of this position, just full hop the side plat right here. You're not
Yeah.
gonna win this.
You've mentioned that before too.
Yeah, it's just an easy answer.
You were
It's just like,
saying whenever you're unsure about a situation, just fall back to that
mm-hmm.
here.
Okay, so here's the thing. So Falco gets above you, creates the pressure.
Right.
Um, don't really want to fight into it when they're above you too much. This is crazy because you all you did was go to the top plat, and Falco's like,
Yeah.
"All right, fine, you won neutral." It's like, "Oh, okay, thanks,"
Uh-huh.
but he somehow hits you out of it. He really shouldn't have. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So this is the thing that I mentioned earlier, and this is just like a mindset thing that when Falco goes up here, your goal should be like, whoop, like how do I like
Yeah. Sneak up there.
yeah, how do you like sneak into a position where it's like this is the thing. Okay, so how do you get into a position where you're like Falco's does this and I do this? Basically, that's like what you're trying to do is you're like, haha, like how am I gonna get this to occur where we kind of like cycle? And that's a lot better of a mindset than kind of like chilling on the ground and then he drops here and you just go like here or something like that.
So I want him to think he has a chance to then just steal his spot.
Yeah, you want to get him to come down so that you can go up at the same time. And then when now it's like when you're up here and Falco's down here, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna move over here, and then you're there, and then he'll move up to here, and then if you're still there, and then he'll full hop way up here to try to like usurp the top spot. And
That's funny.
he's hoping that if he's down here, that like it'll be similar where he's here and you're here and then you drop like this and he goes like this and he's like, aha, I stole it. And it's literally kind of this like infinite thing where it kind of like you both want like the other person's vertical position, and
Right.
you can basically like this is a form of neutral game where like while you're playing this like up down looping game, you're looking for like vulnerabilities and stuff like that.
I do have a couple other games against the person we saw before from today. Though the one that you saw was my best game from today since it was pretty early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still from today, so they'll be at very least less dated.
Okay.
If you'd rather look at those than uh, the ones I have.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever.
Well, actually, no. I would rather look at um, the dare thing I was talking about, right? Because
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, why don't you? Let's just. I'm just gonna let this game finish, and then
that's fine.
we'll talk it over.
You look at that while I get this.
Okay. Okay. This is just a quick thing to mention. If you're watching,
Let's type back in.
is that like landing this drill out of a so like basically if he was let's say he dashed in and you hit him with this drill like perfectly that would be way more chaotic than like this where you're whiff punishing with the drill because then you're like aha like you know exactly what's like coming next basically.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And like once again in like a position like this where Falco's here rather than coming up from this angle or any of like
Got that.
these angles you should go around and then come down.
Okay.
And you want to do your approaching nairs a little bit later. Like in the air.
Okay.
Like you don't need to do the perfect late fast fall nair or whatever, but just like a little later. Like I would just like jump nair rather than like jump nair.
Right.
That would just in general it would just help a little bit by giving you more like frame advantage on shield and stuff like that.
I sent you the file.
Ugh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna grab this other Slippy sent. Okay, so what was the down air thing here?
Well, I know the thing I was talking about on um, Battlefield more clearly, but I think on this one I don't have exactly clear examples.
Is it like this down air stuff that they're doing or
Yeah, that was definitely one of them.
um so yeah, like any of these down airs just lose to like dash back. And when you're already right here and they do this shield cross up, I would just roll. Like right here, I would just roll and then you have center.
Yeah, we don't have to watch this entire game since it's
Okay.
really just a couple
Yeah, I just want to help you
interactions.
with whatever part you're confused on.
Yeah. And then the other one would be this one. And they're fighting on a side plat for reasons unknown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that other game I sent you also has the top plat interactions that I was talking about.
Did you send me more than one right now? Oh, you just sent
Yeah,
one
I
right.
did.
I see. Okay. All right, well, tell me when you want to switch to that one. I'm just watching this one.
I'm good, whatever. I'm pretty sure we already
Okay.
watched this stuff I was talking about.
Oops. Okay.
Yeah, there, see, I got in. I'm like, oh shit, I got in, and I full hop, and then I lose it.
Let me
I'm
see.
not.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but this is fine.
Okay.
It's like it's it's okay for interactions to like happen. Like it's not.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it wasn't okay. I just felt like I was missing opportunities.
No, yeah, no, you're not. Like I don't know, that it's just like a really common thing. It's like if nothing bad happened to you, it's all okay. Like as long as you're not in a negative position because of something, that is built, that should basically be built into like all your choices. Kind of like how I was
I mean,
saying,
like,
it's
it felt
like
like I was missing something, like afterwards that I should do something, or I was doing the wrong option, or maybe full
yeah.
hop wasn't it,
Okay, so
because I'm already close to Falco.
all of this stuff, this full hop was totally good. That was
Okay.
totally good. That was fine. There's a million
Alright.
options you can do at that range, and this was a totally good one. And Falco also chose just like a totally rando, like high laser, short hop, short distance this way. It's like, okay,
Right.
sure. So it's not like Falco did like a standard option. So it's built into all these choices that like if they don't do the thing you expected at all, like Falco literally does the most random laser ever. Like short hop, high laser, drift back. Literally. So it's like you can't account for every option, right? And so it's like
Right.
as long as your option did not get you hit, like if you had done this and Falco had murdered you for it, then you can look and be like, okay, what did I do wrong there? But like if it's a situation where it's like you made a pretty safe choice and Falco made a weird choice and that stalemated, that's not a problem at all. You're totally good. So okay, so right here, this is that perfect example of like Falco goes up, and so you just go. So he's coming down, and you go, and you just boom, just move around him and come right in from the top.
Right.
And so there's another option you can actually do here, which is so you don't want to be like this. This is just super bad. What you can do is I did a whole lesson about this, and I don't know who it was with.
I
Might
might have
have
not
been.
uploaded it yet, because
No, it's an older one. I think it might have been my Ambus Sinister lesson in Fox Falco. There's one of those lessons. It's from around that time, I think, with Fox Falco, and I talked about. See, I totally blanked out. 1 second. It was the Ambus Sinister lesson, and I was talking about KJH. It's one of those lessons, but basically, it's like I go over this VOD of KJH versus West Balls from a while ago, and West does a lot of this, full hop or like instant double jump type pressure. And Kalindi, what he does is instead of, even trying to get above and around it, and he doesn't contest it, all he does is he pressures the landing. So like Falco will go up, and then when Falco comes down, it's actually just, now that I think about it, it's the exact same concept that I was talking about before. So it's basically that like instead of trying to fight this interaction out, you just stand here and you're like, oh, you landed. That's kind of scary, isn't it, Falco? I might be coming in, and you kind of creating like a force out of that. So there's like a lot of positions in that VOD where I go over where it's like West comes down with a down air, and Kalindi will act like maybe he'll contest it, and then he'll just leave. And then so West lands, and then Kalindi's like, I'm coming back in, but his coming back in after the landing is just like a bait to see what happens, and then he'll get like a punish on an up tilt or something like that.
do you remember what it was called, or how to spell it?
How to spell
Miss
or like
Sinister.
yeah, let me just try to find it. I'm hoping that it's actually the Ambus Sinister lesson.
Oh, I haven't watched that, but that's Fox vs. Fox.
No,
So
it's
let me see the
Fox
other one.
versus Falco.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah. And let me
And then
see.
Fox vs. Falco. I actually haven't seen that.
Is there I'm hoping that this is
Yeah,
the
2 years
one where
ago.
I go over Yeah, but I'm hoping that this is the one when I go over the thing, because it might, dude. It looks
It's
like it's
titled Declaring Intent.
yeah, and I remember this being a good lesson also, but I'm looking through, and we didn't actually go over the Kalindi VOD, so I must be thinking of a different Fox Falco lesson, unfortunately.
Ah,
Because I definitely pulled up the Fox Falco, or I pulled up the KGH versus Westball's VOD. But essentially, I just spend like half an hour going over the situation where Falco does like instant double jump, landing down air, and then the Fox just kind of hangs out, and then when they land, you like you essentially use their landing to like create a force which baits them. That's it. I just literally go over that for like half an hour. I wish I remembered exactly which lesson it is. Okay, so this is probably what you're talking about, right? This type of thing?
yeah.
Okay. So, um, you can shine
There's a
out a
bunch of
shield.
crossed ups. Yep.
You can shine out a shield. You can actually, it's kind of crazy on Falco early aerial. Like if Falco does like this early, you can actually wave dash out a shield and punish this every time.
Really?
You can wave dash out shine and or you can just short hop nair. Like you can act you don't need to shine out a shield it. If you short hop nair there, you're good. Or wave dash out shine also covers it.
Okay.
If you're Mango, you do wave dash out short hop back air instantly, and somehow that hits. But I wouldn't recommend trying that one.
Yeah, it seems difficult.
But at least the wave dash out shine is crazy good. Like they just literally cannot get away with those. That's like that's it's kind of like like basically there's the foxes that I can do it against and the foxes that I can't. And the foxes that I can cross up early down air or nair on their shield, I'm just like, yes, this game is so easy. And then the
Yeah.
ones where you can't, they're just like, oh, you did that stupid cross up there in my shield again, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah. And they just wave dash out shine and literally kill me for it.
Okay.
So it's kind of just like a binary thing of like, can you hit it or not? And when you can hit it, Falco hates doing like he just every Falco on Earth will simply do that. Like not they'll just stop doing that down air to you, or they'll keep doing it and they'll just die over and over. Both will happen, but it's like a simple solution overall.
So I'm giving up top plat for no reason, really.
Let me see. Right there, where you go down to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like basically there's no reason to create this position for you. Like you had a centralized position, and so like if your best like in the worst case you should at least be coming down from the top plat in center, not really off center.
Right.
Uh the thing is this is fine as long as the Falco doesn't take the top plat again. So like they came in here like kind of works. I don't know. There's like some Falcos that they don't like using the top plat either, and if you catch on to that, you can kind of like abuse it a little bit. But I wouldn't worry about it too much for now. I would focus more on like you being able to use it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. Getting a little desperate there. Okay, I think. Okay, so we're basically at an hour and a half.
Ah.
I think that actually, it's pretty cool insight that you realize this, but basically, I think the hour was not enough, and the hour and a half was just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the hour, I felt like I had a lot more to say, and after the hour and a half, I actually feel like I've like perfectly basically said everything. Like every interaction that I've seen, like the last like bunch of minutes, has just been like a repetition of something I already mentioned.
It helps to have gotten lessons from you before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, to get a judge on it.
But it was basically just cool. Like I got to get through exactly everything that I wanted to talk about, and I think that like I think like setting up the rules that we talked about and playing around the forces, it'll start making things feel a little bit like less chaotic. And I think because there's just this like there's this stage in Fox Falco, and a lot of foxes get stuck there, and it's kind of this like uncomfortable, like Fox feels kind of fragile, and a lot of the interactions feel really chaotic, and it feels very difficult to like kind of hit Falco in a spot you want and stuff like that. And you're kind of in that zone right now. It's a really common spot for foxes to be at. And what I would want for you is to reach a point where you're like, you look a lot more like comfortable, and it looks like a lot more like organized. And I think that that will come from like avoiding as like playing the game plans and like the situations we talked about to kind of like avoid those chaotic situations as much. I basically just want to see you. The end result of all of this is I just want to see you look more like comfortable, both in like your punishes because you know which punish is going to happen, and then in the neutral because you know when you're safe and not safe, and you're like comfortable. Like, oh, I'm in an advantage here, so like I can just bait Falco out from this position rather than feeling like you have to like do something with it immediately or stuff like that. So I that is like the end goal of all of this. I just want you to feel a little bit less threatened and like a little bit more comfortable and like organized while you're playing this matchup once you sort of implement these things.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the goal.
So,
Like when Falco lasers you across the stage and he's coming at you and you're in the corner and you just full hop, it should feel like the least stressful thing in the world. And now you're like, oh, I'm above him, and so now I can like
right.
create a force. And now he up tilted, shield drop down air grab, and like da like a symphony, you know.
Confident in my game plan, my new game plan that we've discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, so implement step 4.
Mm-hmm.
Top plat is important for me. Don't just give it up, and also use it effectively.
Trying to come from above. And,
yeah.
And don't interact when they're above you.
Nothing happening when you're safe during neutrals, fine.
Totally fine. For like
yeah.
minutes at a time. Totally okay.
Be aware of my escape options, and then also for just them going crazy with the cross-up dares, you just beat that by wave dashing shining or short hop nair.
Yeah, wave dash out shine is one I think you could practice. Or short hop out back air if they're like crossing you up behind you. A lot of times that works. Or wave dash out shine. Those are both really, really good.
Is it worth it for me to do Uncle Punch or no?
Yeah, I would Uncle Punch that specifically.
Okay.
Like I would Uncle Punch Falco doing the early aerial and then back airing and nairing out a shield, and then also the wave dash out shine, and just sort of like, I think once you realize how many frames you actually have, I think a lot of people subconsciously assume that Falco early aerials are really similar to Fox early aerials. I'm not sure why, but that happens to me too. And it's just like there's a lot more time when Falco early aerials before he actually reaches the ground than you probably think. So you actually have a lot more time to get over there, and just grinding it and Uncle Punch over and over a lot of times can help, like, sort of get that into your head of like the timing and like how much time you actually have to punish these aerials, because like those are just like literally bad decisions by Falco. In a theoretical world, they just die.
Right. And then while I'm there, should I be thinking about improving my attack chases more, or just have that naturally improve through just playing games?
Yeah, it's what I want to see from you is that like when you're actually hitting Falco, like let's say you've hit the first up air on Falco, something like that.
Right.
You're good. At the level you're at, you're fine. You don't need to think about that. Obviously your tech chases can improve, but I wasn't like watching this like, man, the tech chases are the problem. The problem was more that like when you land a drill or whatever, and you're kind of, or like a shine, and you're in like these spots where you might be converting to a combo, you're like, there's so much happening, like I need to convert when all this craziness is happening, and it needs to feel like I full hop, Falco did the dumb thing, and I do my drill up tilt, and it should just feel like very like straightforward like that. That's more of like the feeling that matters, rather than like you actually hitting perfect combos and tag chases that I care about right now.
Okay.
What were you saying?
And is that done through step 4, or is that even if I'm not doing step 4, I'm comfortable in that, whether I get the combo or don't?
Because like it's like you have the comfort of like the clean win condition in your head. It'll right. Like you should feel comfortable all the time. even when you're kind of like losing mix-ups or getting hit, because you know what you want and what you need to win. It's like a puff looking for like rest or something. It gives them like a presence of mind that like, oh, I just need the grab and then all my problems will go away. And
The
with
happy
like,
thoughts.
yeah,
Right.
and with this matchup, it's like, oh, I just need like the clean opener and all my problems will go away. And so you can kind of just focus on the clean opener. And while you're focusing on the clean opener, Falco doing this little like, oh, I dash dance and I laser is like not as big of a deal because you're like, well, that's okay. I just moved to a safe position. There's nothing to really bother me or think about because I don't have my nice win condition that I'm looking for. And so there's no reason to be like, do I need to fight this out? Should I press in? Am I gonna miss something? It's like, no, just it's fine. Just chill out, just leave, and then come back in when you're looking for, when you find something that you actually want.
Also, if I get lasered in the air, like a short hop or
Yeah.
as I'm coming down from a full hop, what should I do?
Almost universally buffer your double jump.
Okay.
Falco has as long as you're not on like FD. If you're on FD,
Sure.
it's kind of rough.
Okay.
If you're on FD, if you're really good, waveland back out of the laser.
Okay.
But that's really hard. Generally, I just recommend double jumping out. I do the same thing in the Ditto if I get lasered out. Just like getting hit and then double jumping and drifting away or whatever, and like if you get hit here like with a laser and you just double jump down air onto the platform, it's kind of similar to like the short hop down airs on the platform where like I don't know, they just can't really get you. Falco doesn't challenge like quick vertical space very easily.
Should I be thinking about improving my ledge dashes, or should I also just let that happen naturally?
I would say like okay, I would say in general right now kind of like basically ledge dashing right now is like your 7th highest priority.
Okay.
So if you have like a little space in your brain and you're like, I'm gonna down air, just be like, no, just do the ledge dash. But like,
Right.
don't come into sessions like it's ledge dash time because that's not really like your problem right
So
now.
I was thinking like Uncle Punch.
Yeah, I mean, I think every day just doing a few ledge dashes and Uncle Punch like a couple times a day is good for everybody.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I just wouldn't put too much mental effort into it right now. It's really getting past this like uncomfortable stage of Fox Falco is like the biggest one. This is like a big like
Hurdle.
it's like a filter. Yeah, it's like a hurdle. It's like everybody has to cross this gap and like unfortunately, I know a lot of Fox mains who never get out of this like uncomfortable kind of like I hit Falco but it's chaotic feeling. And so
What
that's why
stops them?
I kind of have so many thoughts on this is that I'm just like,
Yeah.
nah, like I want you to get past that hurdle in particular. And that is where your mental focus should be. Once you're looking a lot more comfy, and you're like, well, I look comfy, and I get all my nice drills when I bait them, and then I just miss my tech chase. And also I double jump off ledge drill 5 times in this match. And I'll be like, okay, now you got to fix those.
Right. What stops them from going past that? I'd like to, avoid that if I could.
It's they don't get comfy. They just view every interaction as like life or death terror.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
every interaction is I need to perfectly hit it like this, and if I don't, Falco's just gonna slip out and shine me. And it's like, dude, if that was the case, you should have full hopped away at the beginning. And so it's like it's kind of just maintained, and it's just like this feeling of like rigidity and like it's like it's like I can feel their hands getting tight. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like. It's
So
like I can feel their
just
hands getting
breathe,
tight,
Play
and
the game.
they throw out the full hop nair and they dash back and they're just like, I'm just really uncomfortable and the laser's interrupting me. And it's like, no, you gotta find your own like comfort in this matchup by reducing that chaos and like knowing when you're safe and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
and honestly, I don't have 100% success rate getting people out of this zone of Fox Falco. And I'm kind of in the process right now, like, dude, how do I get people out of that zone? Like, it's the most common zone to get stuck in out of all the Fox Falco lessons I give. So, hopefully, people can watch this one where I go and I probably did the best job describing it in this one out of all the other times. So, hopefully, people can watch this one and, like, aha, I can get out of that space because it's like everybody freaking gets caught there. It's really annoying.
So, from what I understand, just breathe, stick to your game plan, play the game, Be comfortable.
Recognize
you know,
that you're not in
and you're good.
danger 99% of the time against Falco if you're not on the same vertical plane. Like, if you're
Yeah.
above Falco, you're fine. It's chill. It's okay.
Understand being safe. So that's it. Just that.
Huh?
So that's the thing. That's the hurdle.
That is the hurdle. Yeah, it's a very apparently it's a very difficult mental hurdle because a lot of people I teach struggle with this.
Okay.
Specifically against Falco, and I think it's just like the way the character works makes it really annoying to be comfortable against. But that is the main hurdle at this level. And if you can get past that, then we can just spend like 3 lessons talking about like edge guarding, tech chasing, and comboing into up smash, and then you're freaking beating Magi or something.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, before we split,
Yeah.
just want to let you know, if for whatever unfortunate reason you and 69% end up splitting ways, O2 FGC will always welcome you with open arms.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Sick.
Alright.
All right, sounds good, man. It's good talk, good lesson. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Alright,
Peace.
bye.